Hello folks, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. Right, today we're going to do a nice winter pattern, something that we've had quite a bit of success with on the always have quite a bit of success with on the reservoirs from the bank this time of year, and Gary Morris and I did very well on it the other day at Waltham Fisheries. It's a perfect fly for fishing down and dirty in clear water especially, and it's the Coral Booby, or a variation of the Coral Booby. It's a lot bigger from the competition variation. So let's crack on with it. The hook and the advice is a wide gape, and I want this because it's quite a bulky fly. So it's a wide gape. It's an F500 Fasna, size 10, this one, and I've already tied on a couple of 5mm cylinder for the eyes, and I've shaped them. I've been using the new cutters that Ben from Up Avon has sent out to me, the Gunville cutters, and excellent. Really pleased with them. So you'll find a link in the description down there to the website, and I highly recommend you check them out. Very easy to use. Anyway, let's continue from this. So the thread I'm going to be using is the UTC 70 in yellow. The only reason for that is the eyes are yellow. You're not going to see the thread really, and I happen to have it on the spool, if I'm honest. So let's just get this tied on and we'll get started. As always, if you enjoy these videos, please click like and click subscribe if you haven't already done so. Feel free to share about, and yeah, I appreciate the support. Any suggestions, any comments, please feel free. I'm always up for some new ideas. So first we're going to tie in here is the tail, which is going to be Marabou, and it's going to be this stuff, this competition candy coral. It's quite a light coral, but it actually goes quite a bit darker when you pop it in the water. When it gets a bit wet, and it goes quite a bit of a darker shade, which makes this fly look somewhere between pink and orange, and it's neither or. And the other day we certainly found in the crystal clear water at Walthamstow, the fish were coming to the orange, but not as well as they were coming to this colour. They really were picking this out. So I'm going to take quite a healthy pinch of this, because it's a decent sized fly, so don't be afraid to dress this up a bit. It's a winter fly after all, okay? And we're going to just bunch that together. Alright, and trim this rubbish off at the end here. I always like to trim the rubbish off at the end there. And pop that on. Everything about this fly is it's a big gobful for the fish, but they're looking around, they're hungry, there's not a lot on the menu, they're willing to look at things, and when they get hold of this with a nice big gape hook in it like this, you're normally not going to miss them. So that's there, nice and easy, nice and tied in. Okay, we're going to adjust the length of the pattern afterwards, after we finish tying it. Body for this is a fluoro coral. This is just a fluoro coral fritz. This is a 15mm. I'm going to strip a bit of the end off of this, and let's just expose the core ready for tying in. Alright, so just expose the core there, and I'm just going to tighten the back of the hook, catch that in, and work my thread all the way back up to behind the eyes like that. Now I like to just moisten this, and just take a little bit, just give it a little bit of moisture, just to straighten. You see how that straightens everything out? It does not make the wrapping a lot easier. When you come to wrap this, it'll all lay nice and straight. So that's that moistened, and we're just going to work from the back, just nice touching turns, wrap it all up, forming this body. And you can see why I've selected a wide gape hook, because it's quite a bulky fly when you get this tied, and you don't want it masked by the materials, and you also really don't want to trim the materials down, because it's the whole idea of this one. It's just nice and bulky, it really stands out. So I'm just going to take, I'm not going to take it fully up to the eye, because I'm going to put a wing on this as well. I'm going to put a wing on there, but that's just right. It's just behind the eye. See how that's laid in there? It's all nice and tight. And just take your thread up, a few wraps, just to secure. Now that on its own would be a perfectly good lure to fish. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Just the tail and the body. In fact, you probably will have one or two of those in the box. There are days when they like a fly with a big tail on them, so I would definitely think about having one or two of those in the box. But today we're going to tie a wing, an over wing on this. Okay, we're going to put a wing over the top of it. So again, with my candy coral, I'm going to take a pinch of that, not quite as thick as what I was putting on the tail. I don't want to too much bulk at the head of this fly, but still enough, you know, still enough. Just something like that. That'll do, mate. Just again trim that rubbish off at the end there. And if you want to make this easier to get into the tie into the top of the fly again, just wet it a little bit. It just gives you a more definite edge then to tie in with. So just behind the eye, I'm just going to catch that in a couple of wraps like that. Lovely. Just round it, figure eight it round. That's great. Okay. Now I'm going to trim this down. I don't want this to be this full length here. I still want a decent bit of length in it, but that's a bit too long for me. So I'm going to decide, I reckon, about twice the length of the body for this one. This is where I want it. I don't want a big long tail on this particular one, so I've just measured that out where I want it. I'm going to pinch and just pinch that off. Always pinch your marabou and just pinch that off like so, and that is going to lay nice and straight in the water when that gets wet. Still a great big godful, as you can see. Nice big fly, but it really looks nice in the water. And just because we can, just to give it a little bit of flash, just to show you a little bit of an alternative, I've got this little bit of coral or hot pink crystal flash here. I'm just going to take a couple of strands of that, pull it out, double it over, and double it over again, and we're just going to, we don't want tons of it, we're just going to pop that in. Oops, sorry, hit the camera there. Just drop that in over the top like that, hold it, just spread it out slightly, wrap down on it. Lovely. And then we're going to bring that thread forward and finish off in front of the eye. Of course, you can vary the colours for this. You know, this is a pattern, you can vary the colours all sorts. If it was fishing with fishing in darker water or coloured water, turbulent or iron stained water, I would probably use slightly more intense colours for this. So it's going to stand out a little bit more. Just going to trim that off just so it stands as an overwing. Don't worry about it standing out like that, because when it gets wet it's going to look absolutely lovely. Just bring that back. You can see how that's going to pinch back there. See how that's going to work. Just like that. Nice little bit of colour there. But we're just going to take that down to the same length as that overwing. Don't want it to overpower everything. Same on that side. Yeah, that's lovely. And as always with your fly, a little drop of varnish just to finish off at the front there, and you're ready to go. Fast sinking line, you know, well, you fish it on any line, but I like to chuck these out on a real fast sinker, the i5, the i7, or you can't beat throwing a booby basher at this time of year. You can chuck those things to the moon. One of these on a nice short leader, just a 5-foot leader or even less, and mess around with it. You'll quite often find a fly like this that's got a lot of movement. It's got a ton of movement in it, and it's been pulled down through the water by the weight of the line. It's working all the time. You're going to end up getting lots of takes on the drop on this, but there you go. Nice little coral booby there, coral booby variation there for you. Definitely one for your winter box. Thanks for joining me, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Click like, click subscribe, and we'll get some more stuff out to you soon. Thanks very much. Bye bye.